Section 1. Ancient Roots, Moral Aggression in Early Societies. Human history is rife with examples of moral aggression, a powerful force shaping social order from the earliest civilizations. In ancient societies, survival often depended on strict adherence to collective norms. These norms, often intertwined with religious beliefs, dictated everything from food practices to social interactions. Transgressions were rarely tolerated, as they threatened the stability and cohesion of the group. Moral aggression manifested in various forms, from public shaming and ostracism to physical punishment and even death. These acts, often brutal by today's standards, served as stark reminders of the consequences of straying from the righteous path. Take, for instance, the ancient Athenian practice of ostracism, where citizens could vote to exile individuals deemed a threat to the city-state. This practice, while seemingly harsh, aimed to maintain social harmony and prevent tyranny. However, it's crucial to recognize that these ancient societies were not monolithic in their moral outlook. Within these seemingly rigid systems existed varying degrees of tolerance and dissent. Even in ancient Greece, known for its philosophical inquiries, debates raged about the nature of justice, virtue, and the limits of moral authority. The dialogues of Socrates, for example, challenged Athenian orthodoxy, leading to his eventual trial and execution. Despite these internal tensions, moral aggression played a vital role in maintaining order and transmitting cultural values across generations. These early forms of social control, while often harsh, laid the groundwork for the complex moral landscapes we navigate today. Understanding this historical context is essential for comprehending the evolution of moral aggression and its continued influence on modern society. Section 2. Shifting Sands, the Evolution of Moral Codes. As societies evolved, so too did their moral codes. The rise of empires, trade routes, and new technologies exposed people to different cultures and beliefs. This cross-cultural interaction gradually chipped away at the rigidity of ancient moral norms, leading to a slow but steady transformation in societal values. The emergence of new religions like Buddhism and Christianity further challenged existing power structures and introduced alternative ethical frameworks. The Enlightenment, a period marked by reason and intellectual inquiry, significantly impacted Western moral thought. Thinkers like John Locke and Immanuel Kant emphasized individual rights and autonomy, challenging the traditional authority of the church and state. This shift towards individual liberty and self-determination paved the way for modern democracies and human rights movements. However, this evolution of moral codes did not erase moral aggression. Instead, it transformed its expression and targets. With the decline of religious homogeneity and the rise of secularism, moral outrage shifted towards new perceived threats. Political ideologies, social movements, and cultural differences became the new battlegrounds for moral conflict. The abolition of slavery, the fight for women's suffrage, and the civil rights movement are all examples of moral progress achieved through challenging established norms. However, these movements also illustrate how moral aggression can be used to silence dissent and maintain the status quo. Understanding this duality is crucial for navigating the complexities of moral judgment in the modern world. Section 3. Digital echoes moral aggression in the age of social media. The advent of social media has ushered in a new era of moral aggression, amplifying its reach and intensity. Platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram provide individuals with unprecedented access to a global audience. This digital landscape, while offering new avenues for connection and expression, has also become a fertile ground for moral outrage and public shaming. Social media's algorithms, designed to maximize engagement, often prioritize content that evokes strong emotional responses. This creates an environment where outrage spreads like wildfire, often eclipsing nuanced discussion and critical thinking. The speed and anonymity of online interactions further exacerbate this phenomenon, allowing individuals to engage in moral grandstanding without facing real-world consequences. Moreover, social media's echo chambers reinforce existing biases and create a false sense of moral consensus. Individuals surrounded by like-minded voices may overestimate the prevalence of their views, leading to intolerance and demonization of opposing perspectives. This polarization can have real-world consequences, fueling political division, social unrest, and even violence. The digital age has undoubtedly democratized access to information and empowered marginalized voices. However, it has also given rise to new forms of moral aggression that threaten civil discourse and social cohesion. Navigating this complex landscape requires recognizing the pitfalls of online outrage and cultivating a more mindful and empathetic approach to digital engagement. Section 4. The price of purity. Consequences of unbridled moral aggression. Unbridled moral aggression, whether manifested in ancient rituals or online shaming campaigns, comes at a steep price. It stifles dissent, erodes trust, and creates a climate of fear, where individuals are afraid to voice their opinions or challenge prevailing norms. This chilling effect can hinder progress, innovation, and the open exchange of ideas essential for a thriving society. History is replete with examples of how moral righteousness taken to extremes can lead to injustice and suffering. The Salem witch trials, the Spanish Inquisition, and the Holocaust stand as chilling reminders of the dangers of unchecked moral fervor. In these instances, the pursuit of moral purity blinded individuals to reason, empathy, and basic human decency. Even in less extreme cases, moral aggression can have detrimental consequences for individuals and communities. Public shaming campaigns, while often well-intentioned, can spiral out of control, leading to online harassment, reputational damage, and even real-world harm. This type of digital vigilantism undermines due process, fosters a culture of fear and silence, and ultimately hinders our ability to address complex social issues constructively. Recognizing the potential consequences of unbridled moral aggression is not about condoning harmful behavior or abandoning moral principles. Instead, it's about cultivating a more nuanced and empathetic approach to moral judgment, one that acknowledges the complexities of human behavior and prioritizes understanding over condemnation. Section 5. Navigating the minefield. Empathy as a guiding principle. In a world increasingly polarized by moral outrage, empathy emerges as a crucial skill for navigating difficult conversations and fostering understanding. Empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, allows us to see the world through different lenses and appreciate perspectives different from our own. It involves stepping outside our own echo chambers and engaging with those who hold different views, not as adversaries to be vanquished, but as fellow human beings deserving of respect and consideration. Cultivating empathy requires active listening, a willingness to consider alternative viewpoints, and a genuine desire to understand the experiences and motivations of others. It means resisting the urge to make snap judgments, recognizing that people's actions are often driven by complex factors beyond simple good and evil. Empathy is not about condoning harmful behavior or abandoning our own moral principles. It's about recognizing that everyone has a story, a unique set of experiences that shapes their worldview. By approaching disagreements with empathy, we open the door to dialogue, understanding, and the possibility of finding common ground. In an age where digital communication often amplifies division and misunderstanding, empathy serves as a vital counterbalance. It reminds us of our shared humanity and encourages us to approach difficult conversations with compassion and a willingness to listen. Section 6. The power of perspective. Embracing diversity of thought. Embracing diversity of thought is essential for mitigating the negative consequences of moral aggression. It involves recognizing that our own moral compass, while deeply held, is not the only valid perspective. Exposure to different viewpoints, even those we find challenging or offensive, can broaden our understanding of the world and help us develop more nuanced and informed opinions. Diversity of thought goes beyond simply tolerating different viewpoints. It involves actively seeking out and engaging with perspectives that challenge our own assumptions. This can be uncomfortable at times, as it requires us to confront our own biases and prejudices. However, it is through this discomfort that we grow, learn and develop a more sophisticated understanding of the complexities of moral issues. Universities, for example, play a crucial role in fostering diversity of thought by providing a space for the free exchange of ideas. Exposure to different disciplines, cultures and perspectives helps students develop critical thinking skills and challenges them to engage with a wide range of viewpoints. In an increasingly interconnected world, embracing diversity of thought is not just an intellectual exercise, it's a social imperative. It allows us to bridge divides, find common ground and work together to address the complex challenges facing humanity. Section 7. Building bridges, fostering understanding in a divided world. Building bridges in a world often defined by moral battle lines requires a conscious effort to foster understanding and empathy. This involves moving beyond simplistic narratives of good versus evil and recognizing the shared humanity that connects us. It means engaging in respectful dialogue, even when disagreements arise, and seeking common ground despite differing viewpoints. One way to foster understanding is to focus on shared values. While our specific beliefs and priorities may differ, most people share fundamental values like fairness, compassion, and the desire for a just and equitable society. By emphasizing these shared values, we can create a foundation for constructive dialogue and collaboration. Another important step is to promote media literacy and critical thinking skills. In an age of information overload, it's crucial to be able to discern credible sources from misinformation and to evaluate information critically. Teaching individuals how to identify biases, consider multiple perspectives, and engage in respectful online discourse is essential for promoting a more informed and civil public sphere. Building bridges also requires addressing systemic inequalities that contribute to division and mistrust. This includes tackling issues like poverty, discrimination, and lack of access to education and opportunity. By creating a more just and equitable society, we can foster a greater sense of shared purpose and reduce the resentment and polarization that fuel moral aggression. Section 8. The path forward. Cultivating a more compassionate future. Cultivating a more compassionate future requires a collective shift in mindset, one that prioritizes empathy, understanding, and respectful dialogue over moral grandstanding and outrage. It involves recognizing the limitations of our own perspectives and approaching disagreements as opportunities for growth and learning. Education plays a crucial role in this endeavor. By teaching empathy, critical thinking, and conflict resolution skills from a young age, we can equip future generations with the tools they need to navigate a complex and diverse world. Promoting media literacy and responsible digital citizenship is also essential for mitigating the negative consequences of online moral aggression. Furthermore, we must create spaces for constructive dialogue and bridge-building initiatives that bring people together across lines of difference. This includes supporting organizations that promote interfaith dialogue, cross-cultural understanding, and conflict resolution. The path forward is not about abandoning our moral principles or embracing moral relativism. It's about cultivating a more nuanced and compassionate approach to moral judgment, one that recognizes the shared humanity that connects us all. By embracing empathy, diversity of thought, and a commitment to understanding, we can create a more just, compassionate, and harmonious world for ourselves and future generations.